Hello and welcome to Rule the Waves 3, playing as Japan on Super Large Plus starting 1890. We made it to 1912. We have found peace again. So we will do a little bit of a war summary and reorganize our stuff. And when we get to 1913, we will do the start of year review, and then we'll play through 1913. Hopefully it will be relatively uneventful and just peaceful and pleasant and high budget and stuff. Spoiler alert, not happening. Let's jump in. Let's do a very quick post-war analysis before we jump back into the game. So, in summary, it started on January 1911 with both Russia and Germany. Germany first and then immediately followed by Russia declaring war on Japan. Lasted 19 months until September 1912. We did as we had planned, an immediate invasion of Sakhalin to force engagement with the Russians. And we were immediately rewarded by multiple battles and got feet on the ground, and eventually we took over the island. It rightfully belongs to Japan, so that's a good thing. But once that was over, unsurprisingly, the wars shifted. Russian forces were limited in Northeast Asia, and we focused our forces in Southeast Asia, about a third of our force, and the rest, a little more than a third, and the rest in Northeast Asia. The Germans were unwilling to engage in any meaningful way, hanging out in the Indian Ocean, Central Pacific, South Pacific, big stacks of ships, getting badly attrited, I'm sure, engaging in a little bit of trade warfare, but not a whole lot. The Russians also tried their hand at some trade warfare, including in the Baltic. Kind of funny. I didn't know I had merchants in the Baltic. Probably did. So we were forced to engage in some trade warfare or anti-trade warfare, spreading out some trade protection ships. And I actually built some subs. They didn't finish in time, but I did build some armed merchant cruisers. And I only built 10, and the last 4 only finished right before the wars ended. And I would say they absolutely kind of work. I was surprised by the speed of their production and their effectiveness. So I would be willing to try them out in subsequent wars. I think with good timing, enough merchant cruisers built, and enough subs ready at the start of the war, I think you could make a real impact just by engaging in trade warfare. And actually, from Japan's standpoint, that is not a horrible idea, because we have a little bit of an issue with engaging the enemy away from our bases. If we had an ally in Northern Europe, that would be grand. But in this case, we didn't, so it was very hard to get to grips with Germany, especially. So overall, good fun. We had quite a few of those raider battles where my light cruisers absolutely butchered everything. And we had that very fun our merchant cruiser interception, where we started at point blank range at speed 0. Got 1 torpedo in, did the turn, had the perfect angle, but unfortunately the torpedo missed. So the light cruiser limped away at heavy damage. If we had gotten in that last one, definitely would have sunk it. But I also think I underestimated the need for a gun, real guns on that armed merchant cruiser. On the other hand, once they get hit, they tend to sink. They have no damage control. So, yeah. In more game terms, base resources are from January until September, so including war reparations and possibly also some growth. Not all of the year's growth, but some. But 1500 up, more than that, 1600, that's quite a significant bump. Budget went from modifier 28 to 15. Unrest went from 8 in 1911 to 5 at the start of 1912, and finally to 1 at war's end. And yeah, pros. We got some other at war reparations. We got Jacqueline, of course. I didn't even note that down. We got 6 points, spent 1 on a base in the Central Pacific because they are so rare. And we took the rest as war reparations. Short war didn't hurt our economy at all because we just were fortunate we could build like crazy because of the extremely high budget modifier. So I would say that those 19 months, best months we ever had. I lost a few destroyers, but nothing important. Some prestige was gained. I don't see any downsides to this war. We came out of it much stronger. It didn't cost us anything, basically. High budget, it was just a huge net plus. Could have gotten more points, but overall, given how difficult it is to get to grips with Germany, especially, it's a perfect result. So, in conclusion, we are a top tier player now. We are A tier. Great Britain is still S tier, I would say. And the US is on its way there. But we can handle Germany, no problem. We can handle anyone who could take Great Britain or US, anyone. So, great stuff. Let's go into the game again. Yeah, so I hit the old reserve, of course, and we scrapped those armed merchant cruisers, and my non-damaged units are going home. Forgot about this one, Northeast Asia. Anyone else needs to go home? Looking good. Indian Ocean, South Pacific. Yeah. We are in the red, but that is temporary. We have been fiddling with this Yamato 2A, but starting to feel like a separate class, I would say. This is the biggest we can build it. This actually gives some immunity regarding the belt. That's the most important thing, because we're not fighting out here, we are fighting in this region. So even against 14-inch guns, this gives pretty good protection. And it's a slope deck, so that those 2.5 inches can help out a little bit with that as well. Playing around with the numbers. I feel that this is... It's an evolution of the design, but it is a very separate ship. It's a new class. So it's the... Do we have a Fuso class from earlier? I need to check that, because sometimes I make new classes that I already have. I have no Fuso. So why did I iterate twice on the Yamato? No, because I had an idea that I would put them into production, but it just... Yeah, Nagato, that's it. Nagato. BB 1912 Nagato. It will always be the biggest ship, so that we can't... and now we only have a 20% penalty. Nice. Yes, above water tubes. Yeah, sure. We're in no particular rush. Now we have more ships coming home. These guys can be mothballed. These guys can be on reserve. These should be active because I probably interrupted their working up. Old cruisers can be mothballed. Bold. Serve. Reserve. But these guys I actually want to put on active. So you can see that our finances are quite okay. I mean, yeah, do we want more money? Absolutely, but this is not bad at all. Why is Italy very advanced? I will be high on Italy as well. We did research early airships, so I will build an airship base in Shanghai. Seems that it often is the locus of battle generation, and there is often battles in this area, so... And in this area... No, where do we... No, this is the place where all the battles happened. Bakan. E. But we can build those if tensions start to rise. Just one for fun. Tension, tension, tension. Left the service. Serve. Mothballing those. They don't have torpedo protection. Just for fun. And these bad boys to be rebuilt. 12, and how many do we have left after the war? 17. That's 29. I'm just looking at my options here. This could be a minesweeper. Without having to replace any engines or anything. Concept study. Quick one. It's no particular rush. Monthly cost 13. And live with that. $14-inch. Yeah, this is a decent ship. You can see why I would like my belt to be even thicker. Somewhat overweight. Well, thank you. Okay, so we made it to January, so that means it's time for a review. And some reorganization work in my divisions eventually. Little bit of... No, we have 4 battleships, 2 building. We'll build 2 more, then we have 8. That's a good core. All of them 14-inch. So very much future-proofed. This is half and half, 14-inch and not 14-inch. I feel we'll need another line of 14-inchers. We have started scaling back our legacy ships before the rest of the world, I would say. So nothing here is old or bad. Or could maybe get rid of some of these coastal subs that are quite old and not very useful. Those not actually that old. And goodbye. Start of year 1930 analysis. Yeah, we have peace. We've been at peace October, November, December, January, so 4 months. October, yeah, it even says on the screen here. No alliances for my part. Spain and Italy are allied. There is some tension between the US and Germany, otherwise mostly green. Still at 39,500 in the dock department, but soon done with another round. We are not okay in terms of building, but there are more battleships in the pipeline, so that's gonna be taken care of very soon. Unrest has gone down from 1 to 0. It started at 8, then 5 during the war, then dropped to 1 after the war, and now it's at 0. That is excellent, because we were close to rebellion, I think. Base resources. Ignore what I said during the post-war debrief. This is from year start to year start, so it's 1849 with the war reparations. Nearly 2,000. Colony resources, despite taking Sakhalin, dropped a tiny bit. Not enough to matter. Budget got slashed by 13 points. That, of course, brings our budget down, but this is more sustainable. And it will grow probably to more than 500,000 pretty quickly, I hope. So, build to upkeep is okay, not amazing, but we're just out of war, so the budget cut, yeah, nearly half. Reserve, pretty solid. The fleet overview, yeah, we're tier A now with a quickly growing economy. Fleet size is only medium. It's not small, but medium. But down a bit because we scrapped a bunch of ship. We scrapped battleships, light cruisers, heavy cruisers, the truly obsolete stuff. No, tonnage is down, but overall quality is up. We have some older ships still, but those are the quality ones. The good cruisers, the good dreadnoughts. We have 8 battle cruisers, 4 with 11-inch guns, 4 with 14-inch guns. We have 4 more planned. We have a 4+2 building in the battleship department, all 14 inches, 6 more planned. We have scrapped 8 battleships, 12 heavy cruisers, and 8 light cruisers. So, quite significant, I would say. So what we are left with is modern, in terms of battleships, battle cruisers, and light cruisers. And in terms of pre-dreadnoughts and older style cruisers, these are the world's best of their type, I would say. So they are there to deal with any legacy ships. AI could end up throwing our way. We will plan and build more light cruisers, of course. We will repurpose these small destroyers. I'm thinking the 600-ton destroyers become minesweepers alongside our 400-ton minesweepers, and then the 500-ton destroyers, they become dedicated the sub-hunters. Or maybe they will all be minesweepers, but we're alone in our corner of the world, so how many minesweepers do we really need? Research keeps giving. Fire control +1, damage control +1, all or nothing armor on ship design. Armor piercing 1, torpedoes, subs 1 each, high explosive 1, early airships. We can build airship bases, so I built one in Shanghai. No new guns. Intelligence, well, nothing special to report here. I bumped Italy to high because for some reason they are very advanced. I've never seen Italy very advanced at this stage of the game, so maybe they have something to offer. Yes, and that concludes our very quick and 19 something briefing. So let's jump in. So, Germany and Italy still goofing around in the South American West Coast and the Indian Ocean. And yeah, I don't know why, but maybe they have a plan. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Ships under construction. Rebuild, design, study. All of this should be known by now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories without any fortifications. Build. Wow. Oh. A base on Guam. Build a location on Marshall Islands. Waste money on Polynesia. Because we are the Japanese. No. And let's just do it. There, it is done. We can see that the invasion areas increased slightly. Still not enough, but yeah. But this is before we even get access to amphibious landing tech. So soon. Yay, cool. Yay, also cool. Quadruple turret. I'm not a huge quadruple turret guy. I would have liked improved triple turrets more than quadruple turrets, but okay. Battleship Nagato. Go to build screen. Naga. Yeah, we must have a Kaga now. Mutsum. I think we have a Kaga class of battle cruisers. No, that was Akagi. There you go. For battleships building. We have no battle cruisers building. It's not cool, of course. It's a possibility. But it will be for the future. Shinano can go to reserve again. They keep dropping down to poor. Let's leave them. Hydrostatic pistols. Sounds fancy. Really not. I think we'll just redo these Hakats as well, because we're gonna go obsolescent pretty soon. Yes, and we have to decide what to do with these Isaragis. Decide to just ignore them for now. It's a good looking ship but with no firepower. Good armor though. Why do they take my money away? So unfair. Yeah, we did that already. Gunnery penalty from sea state. Thank you, game. Wow. Thank you for completely tanking my budget. Arigato. Or whatever. That was uncalled for. 2 in a row. Huh? I guess we've been lucky not to get hit. And unrest is up. Why? Budget modifier is probably like 13 or 12 or some bullshit like that. Ah. No, you don't get to be active. Okay. That's a ship. Looking very good. Pretty hot. 27 knots. Yeah. But no armor, unfortunately, so. No. So we have 42,500 tons to play with. That's another round. I don't think we will ever get rid of that undeveloped shipbuilding trait. Never. The game hates us. We have less money than Russia. This is we're on par with Italy. This is unfair, intolerable. Normally, when I play this game, I get a whole lot of skilled rare admirals and admirals, brilliant ones. But clearly, the Japanese are not very good admirals. Thank you. Finally, battleship, budget, prestige, tension. Go for it. Circulation augmenter, whatever that is. This, I think, is torpedo. The previous one, I think, maybe engines. The battle enemy strength assessment. Naval aviation, heavier than air. Interesting. We must know more. Can take armor piercing down to low again. I think we can take low. Low. But in Spain, make the agent a national hero. Yes. They've been talking about these tubes for a long time now. I think they are just picking up their paychecks, but not really doing anything. China is feeling too weak to challenge us. Yeah. Organizzazione. Will these three fellows? Build sub. Medium range sub. 2 medium range subs. Or coastal. Yeah, that's 3 in 1 year, and tensions aren't that low, so yeah, budget, prestige, tension. Let's go bombard them. We have no choice. More damage from hits with AP projectiles. That's good. Amphibious operations. Absolutely of interest to us, actually. Okay, net we gained, and we have some tension, so not happy, but I just have to accept that these things happen. We've been fortunate to be able to keep tension up for most of the game, so we haven't had... I think we've had them in the past, not very many, 1 or 2 in the past. This is the first time where we had several in a row in a year. It can be very frustrating. If you want to know a secret, if we hadn't been playing this on recording, I may have restarted the year and tried to do better. But on the other hand, it's part of the fun that you can't 100% call what's going to happen or not. Airship bases. I think the Emperor is demanding a second airship base here up in Vakani. Vakani. Yeah, it's a good second base. Absolutely. That's interesting because as ships become faster, we cannot launch while we're going more than 25 knots, and also you cannot benefit from triple and quadruple and that sort of thing. So, it's gonna be more and more relevant. France. Can't invade anything. Yeah, we can invade New Caledonia. So, yep. I'm gonna keep this on medium until we get the first one. Tension reduced, increased. Germany wants to have another go. I can be a national hero. That spy. Improved face hardening, also nice. Armor improvements, it's not something you see in weight, but the actual efficiency of your armor thickness depends on the quality of armor. So it is actually pretty important. All right, we're in January again. Wow, that was fast. It's in service. Foreign station. How many active units that can be reserved? No one? Oh, these are working up. We can live with that. Research. I think I'd like to try to get 1500-ton destroyers, so I think we will do the high here for a brief period. And that concludes episode 34. 3 hits on the budget in a row when the budget is already low and you have big plans. Not so fun. But on the other hand, it happens. Not as often as you think, but when it happens, you certainly feel it. So, episode 35 will of course cover 1914, so stay tuned for that, and thank you and goodbye.